Daf Yomi, Tractate, Bava Batra, page 113. A, top of the page, with the words Tanya idach velo tisov nachala mimate lemate acher, besibas habal hakasav medaber. That rhymes. Okay. It is taught in another Braita, so shall no inheritance transfer from one tribe to another tribe. Numbers 36, verse 9. The verse speaks of the transfer of the inheritance by means of the husband. The Torah prohibits the woman from marrying a man from a different tribe, since her husband will inherit from her, thereby transferring her inheritance away from its original tribe. Ata omer b'sibas habal, o eno ela b'sibas haben, keshehu omer v'lo sisov nachla l'bnei Yisrael mimateh el mateh. Hare hasibas haben amor, hama ani mekayim v'lo sisov nachla mimateh l'mateh acher b'sibas habal kasav medaber. Do you say this is with regard to the transfer of the inheritance by means of the husband, or is it only with regard to the transfer of the inheritance by means of the son? When it says, so shall no inheritance of the children of Israel transfer from tribe to tribe, Numbers 36, verse 7, the verse is speaking with regard to the transfer of the inheritance by means of the son. How do I realize the meaning of the verse, so shall no inheritance transfer from one tribe to another tribe, Numbers 36, verse 9? The verse speaks of the transfer of inheritance by means of the husband. My mashma simin amar Rabba Barshela amar Kra ish travayu ish kasiv behu. The Gemara comments, in any event, according to everyone, meaning according to both Braitot, the phrase in the verse from one tribe to another tribe speaks of the transfer of the inheritance by means of the husband. The Gemara asks, from where is this inferred? The Gemara supplies a mnemonic. Rabba Bar of Shila said that the latter part of the verse states, so shall no inheritance transfer from one tribe to another tribe. For the tribes of the children of Israel shall cleave each one to his own inheritance, alluding to the transfer by means of the husband, as the word ish means husband in the context of Elimelech, the husband of Naomi, Ish, Naomi, Ruth 1:3. The Gemara asks, but the word ish is written in both of the verses, therefore both verses should be interpreted with regards to the transfer of the inheritance by means of the husband. Ela Amar Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak. Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak says, Amar Kra Yidbeku, Tavai Yidbeku, Kasiv Behu. Rather, Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak said a different explanation. The verse states, shall cleave. And this term alludes to marriage, as in the context of it, he shall cleave to his wife, Genesis 2:24. The Gemara raises a difficulty, but the term shall cleave is written in both of the verses. Therefore, both verses should be interpreted with regard to the transfer of the inheritance by means of the husband. Ela Amarava Amar Kra Yidbeku Matos. Rav Ashi Amar Amar Kra Matel Teacher Uvein Lav Acheru. Rather, Rava said a different explanation. The verse states the tribes of the children of Israel shall cleave, and the tribes cleave to one another through marriage. Rav Ashi said another explanation. The verse states from one tribe to another tribe, and his son is not considered another, as he is an extension of his mother. Amar Rabbi Abahu, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Amar Rabbi Yanai, Amar Rabbi Umatu ba mishmei Rabbi Shmuel Karcha. Ridai lebal she'enu noto meroi ke bet mochzak. She'emar useguv holid es yair v'yihi Lo esrim b'shalosh arim be'eretz hagilad. Minayin li'ya'ir shelo haya lo l'seguv el melamed shenosa seguv isha umesa b'chayim arisha umesu marisha v'yarsha ya'ir. Rabbi Abahu says, Rabbi Yochanan says, that Rabbi Yanai says, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi says, and some determined it was in the name of Rabbi Yehoshua ben Karcha. From where is it derived that a husband who inherits from his wife does not take in inheritance the property due to the deceased as he does the property as she possessed? Instead, the husband inheriting the property that was due to her. That property is inherited, by her other relatives, such as her son or other relatives of her father, as it is stated. And Seguv begot Yair, who had 23 cities, the land of Gilad, 1 Chronicles 2:22. The Gemara asks, from where did Yair have land that his father Seguv did not have? Rather, this teaches that Seguv married a woman, and she died in the lifetime of her potential legators, and her legators then died, and Yair, her son, not Seguv, her husband, inherited these inheritances from her. The Omer Eloz ben Aaron come may speak, bro. Minay lepinchas shlo haya lo Elazar. V'lamed shenasa Elazar isha u'mesa b'chayim Marisha u'mesa Marisha v'yarsha Pinchas. As it is stated, Elazar the son of Aaron died, and they buried him on the hill of Pinchas his son. Joshua 24:33. Which from where did Pinchas have land that his father Elazar did not have? Rather, this teaches that Elazar married a woman and she died in the lifetime of her potential legators, and her legators then died, and Pinchas, her son, not Elazar, her husband, inherited the property from her. Amar beno nachala harauya lo v'yarsha beno. And what is the meaning of "and it is stated"? Why is it necessary to provide an additional proof beyond the first verse? The Gemara explains, and if you would say in the verse concerning Seguv and Yair, it is Yair, not Seguv, who married a woman, and she died, and he inherited from her. And he did not inherit from his mother. The verse states, and Elazar the son of Aaron died, and they buried him in the hill of Pinchas his son. Joshua 24:33, teaching that Pinchas inherited the land of those from whom his mother inherited, and Elazar did not. And if you would say that this land came into the possession of Pinchas as a dedicated field, as he was priest, and he did not inherit it from his mother, the verse states his son, indicating that it was an inheritance that was fitting for him. Meaning Elazar had his wife not predeceased her legators, and his son inherited it. Ubnei achos, tenana bnei achos, v'lo benos achos. The Mishnah teaches, and sons and sisters, meaning nephews born to sisters of the deceased, inherit from their maternal uncles, but do not bequeath to them. It is taught in Braita the halacha applies to sons and sisters, but not to daughters and sisters.